I was having this screenplay last year, which wasn't the screenplay for 4 months, 3 weeks and 2 days. I was trying to place together some stories from the late communist times, some very funny stories that I could remember. I gave it to some people to read, and I realized that it was very funny for them, which supposedly was my intention. It seemed to me that I'm kind of having a responsibility towards the way I will just talk about my early youth and my 20s. So I decided then that I need to make another film for this series, and this became a very complicated series. And eventually I came up with this story, and this is how I got to know the tone of my story before I knew the story itself. I knew that I wanted to be something kind of dark and sober and important about the period and about the misfortunes of having to live then. So finally it became a very complicated series, which is still called Tales from the Golden Age, which is going to place together this film that I made meanwhile, and the collection of shorts which I also started to produce at the same time. What I'm trying to do is to inspect the side effects of the communism and to tell stories about people living then from a very human perspective and from their perspective from that period, and not from my author's perspective 20 years later. I decided in I think October last year to start and make this project, despite the fact that I wasn't having any money, I wasn't having the casting, and I wasn't having anything. And since I'm the producer of the film, I started doing everything at the same time: casting, scouting, locations, looking for money and everything, hoping that we will have the film ready for Cannes. And I don't know how, but eventually we managed to, finish it on time. We hoped that it would be possible to get into competition, and finally it was. And we knew this could make a difference. And it made a difference, because once you're allowed to compete, anything might happen. We got this unbelievable response from the press, which was quite unanimous, which is funny. And we got something which was very important for me. We got a very personal response from the press people that were seeing the film. Most of the people were touched on a very human level, which is good for me, because it means that, forget about filmmaking and profession, let's talk about what this story tells us. And by the end of the festival, we started believing that we are standing a good chance to get it. In the last day, we would have been disappointed not to take the Palme d'Or, to be honest. We hoped we deserved it.